So as usual, my followers came through, my subs did. I asked them on my community page the other night, what should I talk about? What about pop culture, something? I got nothing on the brain lately, unlike every other time I have nothing on the brain. There's nothing up here. I think there's goldfish swimming around up here. I don't know. I'm pretty sure. I think if I shake my head like this and I go like that hard enough, a little goldfish is going to pop out of my ear, wiggling and just dance away. But yeah. Right away, they're like, Wendy Williams, Wendy Williams, Wendy Williams. A bunch of people answered in that. I'm like, oh, God, I'm done with Mr. Wendy. Me and him don't like each other. I don't like that dude. I'm tired of talking about that gossipy, big-lipped, fucking wide-eyed dude. First of all, it looks like a camel. It looks like a camel dressed up as a female impersonator. Like, yeah, if a camel dressed up in really, really outlandish drag queen clothing, that's Mr. Wendy Williams, okay? Wendy Williams is a horrible piece of shit. Sits there and, badmouths everybody, gives their opinion like anybody's supposed to give a shit and, rips people and... Well, there could be an art to that too. You have to know how to do it. You don't know me. Anyway, they're like, you gotta look what Mr. Wendy did. So then I looked up, it said Mr. Wendy, it said Wendy Williams farts on TV, but like farts, question mark, like did she, or did she just kind of hide it or something like that? I'm like, I'm thinking it's going to be like a squeaker. That's what I picture Mr. Wendy doing, probably the balls got in the way. I have a feeling that his balls are pretty big, probably they're low hangers. What's he, 54, 55 now? They're swinging. Like every time Mr. Wendy goes to take a poop, she got to hold her balls up to make sure they don't touch the cold, cold water. It just happens that way. But Mr. Wendy's sitting there, and this is the best. I'm telling you, go watch this and come back to this. Go watch Wendy Williams farts and go watch and then come back. The visual is worth it all, but I'll explain to you if you don't want to. She's sitting there talking about somebody who's in trouble and having a bad time in their life. She wouldn't know anything about that. That dude would know nothing about, way too many Percocets, an addiction to wine, and having to go to rehab and having their horrible husband cheat on them and get a baby mama knocked up out of the whole thing. Wouldn't know anything about bad times because they just know everything. But that's okay. So Mr. Wendy's sitting there discussing somebody who owes somebody money. And it's like, so anyway, and then you could tell right away, I was like, is this going to be like a squeaker or is it going to be a real fart? Or did somebody just fuck around and add a noise here? Maybe, because once in a while, we've seen like celebrities supposedly fart and it's like a leather chair and they really didn't do it. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. This was a fart. This bitch must have ate 5 vats of chili, had cayenne pepper, poured down her throat, and then fucking just, I don't know, went to every Taco Bell within a 5-mile radius of the fucking studio before it got there. And then all of a sudden, this is what occurred. So sitting there, and you could tell that it's a fart. Because right away, this is Mr. Wendy sitting like this. Like this. The fart, that's the fart position. If you got a fart and you're sitting like that, that's a fart. You're trying to let air out your ass. That's the fart position. So she does something. She's sitting on her chair. And she's like, so, anyway, the cop was like, I'm not playing that. Here's what happens next. It wasn't a squeaker. That was a chili fart. That was a fucking major chili fart. That was not only a chili fart. That was like the fart I picture when someone dies. When you die, you shit yourself. I think it was like a dead body fart, like releasing all the gas from your... You know what it was? It's all the evil coming out that bitch. That's what it is. All that evil, that bitterness, and that fucking... She doesn't do it with a fucking sense of humor or anything like that. I like to think I do it with a sense of humor, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, ripping people, or just having fun with something, or ranting about something. I think I do it with a sense of humor. That thing is just evil. That thing comes from hell. Anything, who else would create a camel that dresses up in drag? Satan, right? But that fart was the best. So the cops all like, you could see he was getting in a fart position, Wendy Williams. It's like, so, the cop was all like, I'm not playing that. I'm not playing. She might as well have been doing yoga. Like, I'm not doing, God, Jesus, give me a second. I'm not playing that. Jazzercise fart. The fuck are you talking about? And then there's the awkward pause after the fart. Look at the clip. Then it cuts to one woman in the audience who's like, this woman must have been downwind. I feel bad. She smelled onions, day-old, 2-day-old, maybe a year-old burritos. She smelled like, stinky ass juice too, because she's like this. Girl in the audience, like, look at her. Look at her fucking face. That poor girl should be compensated. We should find her. Let's set up a GoFundMe. Let's do it right now. Come on, I need you guys' help. The girl who was farted on by Mr. Wendy Williams. But I like to didn't even address it. If you're as real as you say you are, say, oh, fuck, I farted. If I fart right now, I'm going to tell you I fucking farted. I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, it was just, no. You're making the fart face. fart face. We all know what the fart face is. If it hadn't been a fart, here's what would have happened. It would have been like, fuck. I've had that before where I haven't farted. You know, and I've been on like a leather chair or some kind of sofa or some kind of weird thing and I make a noise. I'm like, somebody goes, dude, did you fart? I'm like, no, because I would have informed you I was about to. And then said, smell. And I would have, you know, wafted it at you. Is that a word? Yeah, I think it is, but I think I'm using it wrong, but that's okay. I would have, you know, done this. I would have said, hey, listen to this. This is going to be a good one. It would have been like a CNN alert if I had farted. All right, trust me on that. But, you know, if you're going to be all real, listen, Mr. Wendy continues to crack me up for all the wrong reasons. I can't stand that dude. I don't like the dude. I don't like anything about the dude. And you know what? Karma is a bitch, but it's an evil bitch on top of that. Because look what's been happening. You know, the first time it passed out, remember? It was like dressed up as a Statue of Liberty. And it goes like this. It's like, so today we have some really good costumes in a Halloween contest. Like keeled over and shit. Then the baby daddy her like husband that looks like a milk dud. He looks like a fucking milk dud. He goes off and how does he fucking get pussy is what I want to know. Is he like a licensed hypnotist and we don't know it? Like, oh yeah, you really want to do me. You want to do me and have my baby. Stop crying and don't pull out that mace. No, you want to do me. Like, how is he getting, he's not rich or anything like that, although he's probably getting half of Mr. Wendy's money now. You know, poor guy was in a gay relationship for so long, he didn't even know it. His butt's still sore. He's okay. But yeah, the whole, it just irks the shit out of me. But the fart, and it's just all this stuff that's been going on, that's called karma. Trust me, I've been through it a lot because I've done a lot of horrible bad shit. I'm still getting payback for a lot of this shit I've done. But you know what? You're the type of person, Mr. Wendy, who thinks you don't do bad things. And you think you're just entertaining people and all that. I got your fucking number. You're not just entertaining people. First of all, you're not funny. That thing goes on a stand-up tour. How do you make people laugh? Do you expose your floppy genitals? Do you, like, you know, put out those freaking nasty salami-ridden beef curtains and can they clap? Or something like that? Do your labia just... I mean, do they do a trick? Do you like do ventriloquism with them? Do you like, you know, hey, the weather's going kind of cold out today. Well, I think it is. That's right. I mean, what do you do? I mean, honestly, do you like long distance poop? I mean, do you just like, you know, aim way, way, way in the balcony of that poor audience that you probably pay to see you and then just like kind of grunt it out with those farts? I think you can. I think you might have missed your calling. I think you could aim and shoot yards and yards and yards and hit a bullseye with that shit. Because I heard that. Listen to that fart. That was the funniest fart. I think she needed to check, or he needed to check his boxers for, you know, remnants. Because that wasn't a dry fart. That wasn't a dry, you know, like, whoo, I had a lot of, you know, 7-Up or something like that fart. That was like a fart where it was like, look at the look on its face. Look at the look on that dude's face. Look. It was like, you know, a little bit came out. I'm just telling you right now, just a little, like a fucking, like, a Hershey Kiss piece of poop, like, you know, just came out and was kind of going to sit there until the next commercial break. But thank you guys for recommending it. I loved it. I'm going to go watch it again, laugh until I pass out, and then, you know, that's that.